Welcome back. Now, I'm wearing a Minnesota Fighting Saints WHA jersey. I never said I couldn't wear a chain. I got this chain during the summer, and I told Yvonne, I said, when San Jose wins that first game, it's going to be epic. I had a feeling we might be waiting a while for San Jose's first win. So, yeah, that's what I got the chain for. It's not the only chain I have either. I think they're ridiculous, and eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me a few of these chains because they are absolutely ridiculous. And so, yeah, this to me is already paid for itself because I got a good chuckle when I went to put that on. All right. Florida and Buffalo start things off tonight. It's Bobrovsky versus Luukkonen. Dahlin has a shot that's held as the Sabres press. Peterka to Thompson, there's a near miss there. The Panthers press at 4 minutes. The shots are 2 apiece 5 minutes in. Despite the zone time, not a lot of Florida chances until they score. Jesper Boquist on a 2-on-1 rush via a cross-ice pass buries one. Lundell and Luostarinen with the assists at 11:01. So Lundell gets on the board tonight. Barkov back in the lineup. Lundell still productive. Panthers press. They draw a power play and they score on it on what was their 4th shot of the game thus far. At 11:56, Reinhart scores from Barkov and Verhaeghe. So now Barkov's on the board with a helper. It's 2-0 Florida. The shots are 8-4 for the Sabres with 5 minutes left. So despite the shot totals being as they are, Florida's ahead 2-0. Panthers go back to the power play. That's killed off. McLeod fires one wide on a late rush. The Sabres press to close it out. It's 2-0 Florida after the first period. Second period, the Sabres press at 2.5 minutes. Shots are 4-2 for the home team at 3.5 minutes. Luostarinen then can't bury one in close. The Panthers press at 5 minutes. Pretty quiet next few minutes. There's a lot of defensive play going on. Jesper Boquist is then denied on a rush, but he draws a power play. That's killed off, and then we get a power play for Buffalo, and at 10:45, Zucker gets the power play marker. It takes 6 seconds for him. Thompson and Peterka with the assists on that. Makes it 2-1. Panthers look to respond. Cousins fires one high on a rush, and then on a net drive, Dahlin scores his first of the season at 12:37 from power. That ties the game at 2. Panthers pressed for response. There's a post for Balinskis. More pressure. Things are pushy on a hole by Bobrovsky. And then at 16:44, Verhaeghe restores the lead for Florida. Tkachuk and Bennett with the assists. He buries a rebound on a rush. It's 3-2 Florida after 2 periods. Third period, Reinhart misses one high on a net drive. We get a power play for Buffalo. That's killed off, but they're leading in shots again. Shots are 4-2 for the Sabres at 5.5 minutes. We then get a power play for Florida. Becomes 4-on-4. Things are punchy with 7 minutes left after it becomes 5-on-5 again. The Panthers get a power play, and I'm going to say this, Dahlin with that two-handed slash to the face, I'm surprised he only got 2 minutes. Will he get a fine tomorrow? Could they call him in for a hearing? I'm just throwing that out there. But during the power play, Bennett scores. He goes far corner from the right circle. Schmidt with the assist at 14:35. And then at 15:43, Barkov gets his first of the season. Forsling and Reinhart with the assists. I think it's his first of the season anyways. So that makes it 5-2, and that would be your final. Florida goes to 7-3-1 with the win. With the loss, Buffalo drops to 4-5-1 on the season. Shots on net, 8-6 for Buffalo in the first, 12-11 Buffalo in the second, 14-8 Florida in the third. Final shots, 31-28 for Florida. Power plays, Florida 2 for 4, Buffalo 1 for 3. The hits, 24-19 Buffalo. Bobrovsky, 26 saves on 28 shots. Luukkonen, 26 saves on 31 shots. So, rough night for Buffalo, but it is Florida, so understandable there, and you just move on to the next one. Speaking of which, the Oilers and Columbus. This game, of course, the overarching storyline is that Connor McDavid gets hurt very early in this game. So it's Skinner versus Merzlikins. There's early jump for the Oilers, despite McDavid getting hurt pretty early on. Then Arvidsson gets a goalie interference call, so Columbus goes to the power play. They score on it. It is Monahan on a tip in front, Marchenko and Werenski with the assists at 2:18. The shots are 4-2 Columbus at 4.5 minutes. Bouchard has a 3-on-2 chance that's held. Danforth is denied and close. The Oilers press. They're kept to the outside. And then at 10:42, Fantilli goes 5-hole on a wrist shot. Sillinger and Putia with the assists. And then at 14:31, Sillinger puts one past a screen on what's only the 6th shot of the game for Columbus, and it's the 3rd goal. Fantilli and Werenski with the assist there. So pretty big offensive game so far for Columbus. It's 3-0. With 3:37 left, the Oilers get a power play. That becomes 40 seconds of 5-on-3. We then had 59 seconds of 4-on-4 that follows, but it's 3-0 Columbus after 1. Second period, 44 seconds left in the Columbus power play to start. This is where they mention McDavid's not returning to the game. The Oilers do finish the kill. Columbus goes back to the power play. It's a 4-minute power play. They don't score during the 4-minute power play, but Olivier scores from Van Riemsdyk at 7:04 after it's done. He buries this one from the side of the net. Olivier scoring goals early this season. We get a power play for the Oilers. That's killed off. Columbus presses with 9 minutes left, but the shots are 6-4 for the Oilers with 8.5 minutes left. Oilers go back to the power play. Skinner's denied. Puck's cleared out. The Columbus Blue Jackets do kill that off. With 3:12 left, the Oilers get another power play, which Columbus also kills off. So it's 4-0 Columbus after 2 periods of play. Third period, the shots are 2-1 for the Oilers at 2.5 minutes. Columbus has a 3-on-2. That fizzles out. Oilers press at 6.5 minutes. Columbus really isn't giving the Oilers much of anything, though, at that point in the third period. They're also sending in just the single forecheckers, so they're playing back on everything. Definitely a Dean Evison coach team there. Olivier then has a rush chance that's saved, and then at 15-14, Putia gets his first National Hockey League goal. Nice cross-ice pass. It's buried. Fantilli and Sillinger with the assist. So Fantilli with a couple of helpers tonight and a goal. And then at 16:38, Monahan gets his first ever 2-goal game for Columbus with this one here. Chinikov and Marchenko with the assists. But then with 50 seconds left, the Oilers get a power play, and they score on it. So this would have been not a no-mercy game. If it was 6-0, it would have been an extermination. If it's a 5-goal difference and it's a shutout, it's an extermination. Keep that in the back of your mind. So Ekholm gets it from Nurse and Perry at 19:33. Spoils the shutout for Elvis, but Columbus wins 6-1. They go to 4-3-1. They do get a no-mercy magnet out of it. The Oilers 4-5-1 with the loss. Shots on net, 11-6 Oilers in the first, 11-8 Oilers in the second, 11-10 Columbus in the third. Final shots 32-25 for the Oilers. Power plays, the Oilers 1 for 6. They miss McDavid. 1 for 4 for Columbus. The hits 19-8 for Columbus. Skinner saves 19 out of 25. That's an ugly stat line. Elvis saves 31 out of 32. One of the best games Elvis has had in a long time. All right. And next up, Nashville and Tampa Bay. So this was the return of Stamkos to Tampa, and they had a lot of discussion of this, obviously. It was over 16 years ago he was drafted first overall. Long time he was part of that organization. So it's Saros versus Vasilevsky. Teams exchange early rushes. The Bolts press at 2.5 minutes. There's a near miss for Lilleberg and close. Shots are 2-0 Tampa 4 minutes in. The Bolts press at 5.5 minutes. They had the video for Stammer during what would have been the TV's commercial break, but they stuck on that, and they showed Stamkos doing a lap as well at the end of it. Girgensons couldn't bury one in close as we get back to the action, and then Tampa would score. Point goes with a backhander from in close. Jake Gensel with the assist at 9:49. He got his 500th point tonight. I don't know if it's on this one or this one, but either way, congratulations, Gensel, on 500 career points. Bolts look for another. We get a power play for Tampa. Hagel has a shot that deflects out. That is killed off by Nashville. Preds go to the power play. It then becomes 46 seconds of 4-on-4. There was a 4-on-4 chance for Paul. That saved. And then after everything's done at 19:23, Chaffee buries one on a fast break. Braden Point with the assist. It's 2-0 Tampa after the first. Second period, Stamkos is denied on a rush. The Bolts score. Was it offside? Well, the challenge says, yep. The review shows that it was, in fact, offside. No goal. Shots are 2-1 Nashville at 5 minutes. O'Reilly's denied and close. We get a power play for Nashville. Forsberg's denied from the slot, and then O'Reilly just turns and buries one to get them on the board. Marchessault and Stamkos with the assists at 10:19. That is Stamkos' first assist as a member of Nashville. Shots are 9-3 Nashville with 9 minutes left. The teams exchange rushes. The Preds go back to the power play. That's killed off. Nyquist couldn't bury one at the net, and he must have remembered because the next time out he buries it. This one on a rush. Nyquist from Stamkos and Shea at 18:40. So Steven Stamkos with 2 assists in the second period. It's a 2-2 tie at that point. Bolts press to respond, but with 6.6 seconds left, Nashville gets a power play. So with a 2-2 tie entering the third, Nashville's got the man advantage. So early in the third, the Bolts finish the kill. The shots, though, are 4-1 Nashville, 3.5 minutes in. Carrier fires one wide on a rush. Mosier has a slot shot that's blocked. Geekie with a possible goal, that gets blocked as well. We get a power play for Tampa. Kucherov's denied late in that. That's killed off. Bolts, they press at 9 minutes. Cirelli is robbed in close. Saros holds. The Bolts press with 4 minutes left, and Asimon's denied in the closing seconds. So there were opportunities for Tampa Bay late in that. Saros gets it to the overtime. Preds control early. The Boo Birds are out as Nashville has the puck, and they're playing keep away with it. Kucherov's denied on a rush. The teams trade turnovers, and then on a tip-in close, Nick Paul gets the winner from Jake Gensel at 3:22. And you'll notice, too, I don't see Kucherov with a point tonight. Maybe they adjusted a scoring play, but I think he had a point streak coming into tonight, and that's over. So the final score is 3-2 in overtime for Tampa. They go to 6-3 on the season. Nashville drops to 3-5-1 with the overtime loss. Shots on net, 11-9 Tampa in the first, 14-4 Nashville in the second, 14-10 Nashville in the third. Tampa Bay had both shots in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 37-27 Nashville. Power plays, Nashville 1 for 4, Tampa Bay 0 for 3. The hits, 33-13 for Nashville. So they outshot him, they outhit him, but they couldn't beat him. Saros, 24 saves on 27 shots. Vasilevsky had himself another really good game. 35 saves on 37 shots. So after a slow start to the season, Vasi seems to be getting things back in order. Toronto and Winnipeg. So this was on Amazon Prime. Yvonne and I were talking about it. Yeah, there were definitely lag issues. There were plenty of times where it would show me the loading icon, and I was like, I don't know. And since my internet in here can be spotty in this room, I was like, well, it's probably just the internet in here. But Yvonne was having the same problem upstairs where she shouldn't have been having that problem. And apparently, word online is a lot of people were having that problem, if not all viewers. And that's if you could view this game. So there are some people upset that they're paying for NHL Center Ice, and now they can't watch a game on Mondays because of the Amazon Prime deal. And remember, NHL Center Ice, it's not like the price goes down because of this. So you're paying the same and you're getting less. And it's a game every Monday on Amazon Prime. I think it's meant to try to encourage people to sign up for Prime. I think it's a test thing, but it is rough for fans that, like for me, for instance, if I didn't have an Amazon Prime account, and I have 3 kids and a wife, of course, we're going to have Amazon Prime. But if I didn't have it, I'd be spending extra money to watch that. And that's on top of already having Sportsnet Plus and Center Ice. It's just, it ends up being a lot to watch hockey games. Now, that being said, it was Stolarz at one end, Hellebuck at the other, and it's like, all right, these are 2 good goalies. It should be a low-scoring game. No. So, early press by the Jets. We get a power play for Toronto. There's a shorthanded Iafallo to Kupari play, near miss there. That power play's killed off, 2 shots on net. The shots are 7-1 Toronto at 5 minutes, and that was an indicator for how this game would go for the previously unbeaten Winnipeg Jets. Jets press at 6 minutes, but the Leafs are doing a good job blocking a path to the net. Marner fires one high from the slot, and then at 11:56, Tavares scores from Pacioretty and McCabe. And you could hear how many Leaf fans there were in attendance. There was a lot of cheering going on, and Tavares tips that one in. He was in for a big game. The Leafs draw a power play. There's a shorthanded rush by O'Connor that helps end that, but Toronto would get another goal. At 17:47, Nylander scores from Pacioretty on a turnover play. He buries that one. Pacioretty had a really good game. You can't take him out of the lineup now. It's 2-0 Toronto. And then early in the third, Nyes buries a rebound on a good forecheck. Matthews and Marner with the assists. So it's 3-0 Toronto early in the second, as we all thought it would be. This is the thing with Toronto. They're either really good and playing really well, or they look awful. And in this game, at points, they had points where they kind of looked awful too. It's really hard to get a read on Toronto early in the season. So Jets press to respond. Stolarz holds there. The Leafs are just outworking Winnipeg at this point. I put that on the board. As soon as I write it, Toronto scores again. Riley goes bar down from the left circle. Nylander and Pacioretty with the assists at 3:25. It is 4-0 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We get a power play for the Jets. There's a shorthanded Lawrence rush chance. That is fired high. And then Connor gets a power play marker. He wires it short side from the left circle. Scheifele and Morrissey with the assists at 6:19. The Jets have some life. The Jets go back to the power play. That's killed off. Then there's a delay game call. The Jets get another power play. They score on this one. It is Connor again. Morrissey and Velarde with the assists at 11:25. So the power play gets the Jets back within 2 in this one. Jets press with 7.5 minutes left. The shots are 11-9 for Toronto with 3 minutes left. At 17:53, Tavares buries a loose puck in close to make it 5-2. Ekman, Larson, and Nylander with the assists. So it's 5-2 Toronto after 2. Third period, no shots on net 3 minutes in. Perfectly fine for Toronto. Don't worry about it. We don't care if there's shots. Jets press at 6 minutes. Eventually, during a delayed penalty, Scheifele scores to make this one closer. At 7:36, he scores from Connor and Morrissey. Perfetti then has a rush chance that's blocked. The Jets draw a power play. That's killed off. No shots on net. The shots are 5-2 for the Jets with 5 minutes left. And then at 16:13, during a 6-on-5, Connor scores the hat-trick goal. Ehlers with the assist. So hats rain down on the ice. They pull the goalie again. Now they're within a goal. But Tavares gets his hat-trick goal into the empty net at 19:35. Your final score in this one, 6-4. Toronto, late in this game, made it way more interesting than I think Craig Berube would have wanted, but they win. They go to 5-4-1 with the win. With the 6-4 loss, Winnipeg 8-1, and so the 80s magnet in its place because there were 10 goals scored in this game. 10 goals or higher, to me, equals an 80s game. Shots on net, 19-6 Toronto in the first, 13-9 Toronto in the second, and then 8-4 Winnipeg in the third. Final shots, 36-23 for Toronto. Power plays, Toronto 0-2, Winnipeg 2-4. The hits, 25-21 Toronto. Stolarz saved 19 out of 23. Hellebuck, 30 saves on 35 shots. Neither goaltender had the kind of night I was anticipating tonight. That being said, I do need to change boards. Okay, so the first trap magnet is on the board for this season. And it's because, Chicago, Colorado is a clear trap game. Colorado had won 5 in a row. Chicago had not won 5 in a row coming into this. They came out with a 2-6-1 record. And Mrazek versus Georgiev. You put Georgiev in the net against Chicago to get his confidence back, get his mojo back and all that. Well, there's a delay game call in the first minute, so the Hawks get a power play. That's killed off. The Hawks press at 3 minutes. The shots are 3-0 Chicago at 5.5 minutes. And then they draw another power play. They score on it. At 8:47, it's Kurashev from Vlasic. Now, Colorado gets it back on their third shot. Mittelstadt scores from O'Connor and Malinsky at 10:16. So it's a tie game. They trailed first, but no worries until at 11:04 off of a face-off win, Reichel scores. Craig Smith with the assist. That's only the 6th shot on net, and it's the second goal for Chicago. The Hawks press with 5.5 minutes left at 16:56 on their 10th shot. Donato scores from Dickinson and Murphy, and then the Hawks press for another as the crowd's really quiet. It is a baffling, bewildering scene. It is 3-1 Chicago. With 2:14 left, the Avs get a power play. That becomes a 5-on-3. Well, you can't give them a 5-on-3. And so McKinnon scores from Makar and Georgiev at 19:17. So Georgiev with a power play assist. It's 3-2 Chicago after 2. And again, I was thinking, Chicago's ahead, but it's Colorado. Colorado's doing really well. They're back. Second period, 47 seconds left in an Avs power play to start the second period. The Hawks finish the kill. Chicago presses at 2 minutes. The Avs press at 5 minutes. There's more pressure by the Avalanche at 7 minutes. Shots are 5-2 for Colorado with 8 minutes left. We then get a power play for the Avs. That's killed off. With 2:57 left, the Avs go back to the power play. That leads to a shorthanded chance for Dickinson, which is saved. Gerard has a shot that's held. Power play's killed off. And then Kurashev's denied in the final minute. So it stays 3-2 after 2. And again, going to the third, I was like, but it's the Avs. Right? They're going to come back and win. Third period. Big hit on O'Connor draws some ooze from the crowd. Not boos, because boos would mean they think it's a penalty, but it was a big hit. The Hawks are shot blocking, but the Avs are in control. The Avs press at 5 minutes. Jones fires one wide then as the Hawks press. The fans call one. The referee does not. Shots are 3 apiece at 8 minutes. The Hawks press. They're kept to the outside. Hall's denied as the Hawks are seeking some insurance. Then there's a near miss by Makar as the Avs get some pressure. With 4:06 left, the Hawks get a power play. That's killed off. The goalie pull happens with 1:55 left. And at 19:02, Donato hits the empty net. So that leads to the Avs calling a timeout. They pull the goalie again. Mikheyev hits the empty net from Donato and Dickinson at 19:41. Chicago wins in Denver 5-2. They go to 3-6-1 with the win. Colorado drops to 5-5 with the loss. Shots on net, 12-7 Chicago in the first, 10-5 Colorado in the second. Both teams had 9 shots in the third period. Final shots, 26 apiece. Power plays, Chicago 1 for 3, Colorado 1 for 4. The hits 19-15 Colorado. Mrazek saves 24 out of 26. Georgiev, 21 saves on 24 shots. So, yeah. And I guarantee Georgiev going in here, it's probably the thought process of we get him in there. Chicago's team doesn't score very well. Get him his confidence back. And sometimes that backfires. Speaking of, San Jose Sharks. Utah. San Jose right here representing. Don't go backwards. Don't go backwards. Right here, representing San Jose. Blackwood versus Ingram. The lone shot on net was by Utah at 3.5 minutes, so that's an exciting start. That is a different Utah magnet than I've used. Pressed by the Utah Hockey Club at 4 minutes. Then we get a power play for the Sharks that ends that, so they take an offensive zone penalty. Cunning's denied late in the power play. That is killed off. We have a fight then between Smith and O'Brien. So Smith, not Will Smith, Giovanni Smith with the fight. Will Smith not fighting in this one. Shots are 3-1 Sharks at 8.5 minutes. There's a crossbar for Keller. Puck's cleared out. And then at 11 minutes, Gunther finally gets goal number 6. He scores from Keller. He wires that one from the slot. Then there's a power play for Utah. That's killed off. But at 16:24, Michelli scores from Cole and Schmaltz. It's 2-0 in favor of Utah. To start the set, and then Bukestad has a slapper that's held. It's 2-0 Utah after the first. Second period, early jump for Utah. The shots are 3-1 for the Sharks at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for San Jose. That's killed off. And then at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, Zetterlund puts one around Ingram on a net drive. Gushchin and Thrun with the assist there. First point of the season for Henry Thrun. Utah presses to respond, and they do. At 10:38, Michelli buries a rebound and close. That's the second goal of the game. And so Cole and Kolyachonok with the assists. Utah has his 2-goal lead back. Toffoli gets robbed on a 2-on-1 rush. Utah presses with 5 minutes left. In the final minute, Sergachev puts a point shot past a screen at 19:36. It is 4-1 for Utah after the second period. Things start getting testy in the third period. There's some punching in front of the Utah bench. Utah comes out of that with a power play. That was killed off. Utah presses after it's done. Remember, they're up by 3 goals here. Sharks press at 5.5 minutes. Wallman has a tip shot that's held. Shots are 7-2 for San Jose at 8.5 minutes. Spoiler alert, Utah only had 1 shot the rest of the period. Yep. Power play for San Jose. There's a post for Granlund. That power play is killed off. Cece has a shot that's held. There's some pushing. And then on the faceoff win, Zetterlund tips one in at 15:28. Granlund and Wallman with the assists. And then seconds later at 15:53, Granlund scores from Wallman and Eklund. So now it's a 1-goal lead. So what happens next? Well, at 17:18, Toffoli scores to tie the game from Wallman and Wenberg, and this is where Utah calls a timeout, which I thought Andre Tourigny did about 1 goal too late. So they do get to overtime, do the Utah Hockey Club. Schmaltz is denied from the slot. We then get a power play for the Sharks, and they score on it. At 1:26, it's Wenberg burying one in close. Granlund and Toffoli with the assist. So it's a 5-4 win for San Jose. They get that first win of the season. They are 1-7-2. Utah's 4-4-2 on the season. Shots on net, 11-9 Utah in the first, 17-8 San Jose in the second, 17-3 San Jose in the third, 2-1 San Jose in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots are 45-23 for the Sharks. Power plays, San Jose 1 for 4, Utah 0 for 2. The hits, 29-21 San Jose. Blackwood saves 19 out of 23. Ingram saves 40 out of 45. Carolina Hurricanes and the Vancouver Canucks. So Vancouver's having trouble winning on home ice, but they rallied tonight, so it's hard to get a read on this. So it's Kochetkov versus Lankinen. The Canes with an early press. In fact, 5 minutes in, the shots are 5-1 for Carolina. And at 5:40, Carrier scores from Blake and Drury. So Jackson Blake's putting up some points. Canucks press to respond, and at 7:17, Besser buries one from the slot. Miller and Hughes with the assists. Then the Canucks score again, but is this one offside? Yeah, challenge says it is. It's offside. Goal comes off the board. Then there's a shoulder save on DeBrusk and close. So the Canucks had some chances to get the lead. The Canes get a power play. That's killed off. The Canucks press with 5 minutes left. But then on a fast break, Natchez scores at 15:33. Kotkaniemi and Orlov with the assists there. Jarvis is then denied on a turnover. It's 2-1 Carolina after the first. Second period. At 1:53, Roslovic buries one on a 3-on-2 via a cross-ice pass. Burns and Svechnikov with the assists. It's a 3-1 lead for Carolina. And we know how stingy Carolina is defensively. Canes look for another. We get a power play for the Canucks, though. That's killed off. Svechnikov's then denied out of the box. Watch the guy out of the box. Canes get a power play, and that becomes 41 seconds of 5-on-3. So the Canucks kill that off, and then Suter gets robbed out of the box. If that puck had sat still for him a little bit. The Canucks press with 6.5 minutes left. Sherwood then prevents a goal by Blake in front of the net. Garland has an end-to-end chance that's held with 2:37 left. The Canucks get a power play. That's killed off. Just the one shot on net. So after the second period, it's 3-1 for Carolina. Third period, early jump for the Canes, and the Canes wanted a call, but they didn't get one. There were a few times tonight where the bench wanted a call they didn't get. Canucks press are kept to the outside. The shots are 2-1 Carolina at 4.5 minutes. Besser can't bury one on a rush. Roslovic has a one-timer that's held. The teams exchange rush chances. And then at 7:54 on a one-timer from the point, Quinn Hughes scores from Besser and Miller. So now it's a 3-2 game. Then there's a delay game call that gives the Canucks a power play. That's killed off. Orlov has a 3-on-2 chance. That's saved. There's a near miss for Pettersson on a rebound. And then at 16:54, Kochetkov comes out to play, to race to a puck. He gets caught out of position. So Sprong catches him out, gets the puck over to Suter. Suter puts it into the net before Kochetkov can get reset. And Sprong and Höglander with the assists. So thanks to that goal, thanks to Kochetkov coming out to play that, it's a 3-3 tie. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, the Canes controlled early and they finish it. Aho backhands one in close. He scores from Gostisbehere and Natchez at 47 seconds, and the Canucks are officially 1-0-3 at home. They're building up loser points. But again, I can't be upset with tonight. They were down 3-1 late, and they managed to come back and get a point out of it. So with the 4-3 win, it's a 6-2 record for Carolina. Great road trip for them. Now they go home. Vancouver 4-1-3. So they do get a point out of it. Shots on net, 13-5 Carolina in the first, 12-10 Vancouver in the second, 11-8 Vancouver in the third. Carolina had the only shot of overtime, is all they needed. Final shots, 32-28 Carolina. Both teams go 0-for-3 on the power play. The hits, 28-23 Vancouver. Kochetkov saves 25 out of 28, and Lankinen saves 28 out of 32. Yeah, it was a game that I was kind of surprised they got a point in, and so we'll see what happens next time out. Because, again, not winning at home is a problem for Vancouver right now. All right, last game of the night to talk about is Calgary and Vegas. You will see that the Dalek magnets on the board. So, dating back to last season, it was like, you know what? It's a shutout and it's a 5-goal difference. I usually put up both the Tony the Tiger magnet and it's a Cobra Kai magnet for No Mercy. But what if I just combined it into a Dalek magnet for extermination? It's a 5-0 extermination, or 6-0, or 7-0. Well, tonight, we have an extermination. The first one I think we've seen in the NHL since the opening night. So it's Vladar versus Hill, and Carnell Johnson doing the anthem. I love that. It's a tradition in Vegas. I'm glad that he gets to do that every day. Anthem singers, I think, go without praise often, and I don't like it. When I was in LA and met the anthem singer for the Kings, I talked to her a lot about it. I think she was surprised that I knew who she was. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're really good at that anthem. Good job. Anyways, so near miss in high by Coleman in close. The shots are one apiece at 3 minutes. At 6:39, Pietrangelo gets his first of the season. Holtz and Carlson with the assists, and then Vegas presses for another. Once Vegas got some momentum tonight, wasn't a whole lot that Calgary could do about it. Teams exchange rushes. The Flames press at 9.5 minutes, but the Flames are having some turnover issues at this point in the game as well. Coleman has another near miss as they press. The shots are 6-5 Vegas with 5 minutes left. We only had one shot the rest of the period. That was by Calgary. So second period, Hertl has a wraparound chance that's blocked. Vegas presses. At 3 minutes and 30 seconds, they end up scoring. Stone from CHI-COL. He roofs one after a turnover, and that's from the slot as well. So the shots are 7-0 Vegas, 6 minutes in. Rough period of hockey for the Flames. Vegas draws a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Vegas after that comes to an end. First half of the period, there's no shots for Calgary. Flames get some zone time. They're not finding a path to the net. They go back. Vegas goes back to the power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Vegas after it ends again. And then Anderson with a post from the slot as Calgary had a few shots late in the period, but yeah, Vladar was keeping this close. It was 2-0 after 2. Third period, the early jumps for Vegas. Sharangovich is denied on a rush. And then at 2:19, Kolasar tips one in on a good cycle. Schwint and Raw with the assists. And I thought, I wonder how Schwint feels about getting a point against his former team. Probably pretty good. Flames look to respond. Vegas presses at 4 minutes, especially since they lost him on waivers. Like, this team didn't want me, and now I can go out there and do that. It's the old Vegas Misfits thing. So, shots are 4-1 Vegas at 5 minutes. Things are pushed out a hole by Vladar. The Flames press at 7.5 minutes, but they're not getting shots to the net. Power play for Calgary, that's killed off. The Flames press after it ends. They got some shots there, but then at 13:59, Kolasar buries one from Roy on a rush. And then at 14:14, 15 seconds later, from the slot on a rush. So basically just from the slot, you fire it at the net, and you've got a good chance against Vladar, because a lot of these goals are just straight from the slot. Raw scores that one from Colasar and Schwint. And this is where people will point out, defensively, you're supposed to prevent those from getting through from the slot. You're supposed to keep that part of the ice open for your goaltender, and that is true. So 5-0's your final. Vegas is rolling. They're 7-2-1. Calgary started to stumble. They're 5-3-1 on the season. Shots on net are 16 apiece in the first, and that's basically all Vegas. 16-3 in the second, 16-7 in the third for Vegas. They outshoot Calgary 38-16. Power plays 0-1 for Calgary, 0-2 for Vegas. Hits 23-10 for Calgary. Vladar saves 33 out of 38. He did everything he could until the dam burst. Aiden Hill, relatively easy night for the shutout. 16 saves on 16 shots. And again, the extermination magnets on the board, because that's what we saw tonight in Las Vegas. So congratulations to the Sharks. I'm done for tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.